Charles Oporum. And of course, time check now is 10 minutes gone past 9 a.m. on your radio. Today is Thursday. It is the 23rd day in the month of September in the year of our Lord 2021. And as usual on the program, on Thursdays, we always bring the conversation back home to Edo State. Now, if you're a regular follower of what's been happening in the States, you would have noticed that for the past 3 days consecutively, we have recorded vehicle crashes. Not just vehicle crashes, but crashes that have claimed human lives, sadly. Now the question on the lips of many citizens or residents of Benin City is, why is there an increase in all of this? What is the cause of this? Is it as a direct consequence of the failure to adhere to traffic rules? Or is it recklessness? Or is it a failure on the part of law enforcement? Well, on the program this morning, we will seek to provide answers to these questions and many more. Joining me here are some gentlemen who are going to help me break it down. So, my panelists this morning are the chairman of the Edo State Tipper Drivers Union, Comrade Austin Nosakai Uhuwago. Please, pardon me if I did not pronounce your name correctly. You can correct me, please.
No problem.
Uhuwago. Please, you're very welcome. And we have the MD of the Edo State Traffic Management Agency, Mr. Dennis Oloriegbe. You've been hearing him on the phone, but he came by himself. Good to have you here, Mr. Oloriegbe.
Good morning, Okporo. So nice being with you.
Okay, and of course, we have a resident and a businessman who is a resident of Benin City, Mr. Itinosa Igebo. You're welcome as well.
Thank you. Good morning, viewers.
We will be joining the PRO of the Edo State Police Command via phone any moment from now. But quickly, let me start from you, Mr. Oloriegbe. You are, it's your mandate to provide some form of sanity on the streets of Benin City. The increase in crashes this period, I mean, in the past 3 days, we've had 3 crashes. One at Ikpokpan on Monday, one at, the one that happened, I think that was Sokomba Road, and then one happened yesterday along Ogba River area and all that. Does it bother you? And what would you attribute it to?
Well, maybe we use the one at Sakoba Road as a case study this morning, and we just discovered that it's just the same thing all over the place. Accident, it's not a case of Benin alone, it's a case Nigeria as a whole. There is a high increase in road accident. You know, I don't think maybe there is over concentration of our efforts on things that are not actually taking our life. But road accident is one thing that is taking our life too often. Using a case study like the one that happened at Sakoba by Ogbilaka Junction, you know, you just discover it was a case of reckless driving and dangerous overtaking all together, you know, because a vehicle was overtaking a vehicle and it ran into other vehicles, and what we had was a crash. And before you know, 4 people dead, the others are still in the hospitals, while some injury was addressed. So it is a case of drivers not adhering to rules that are supposed to make road very palatable. I think that is where I'm going to start off from.
Okay. Said drivers not adhering to rules. Now, people have said cheaper drivers.
Yes.
We understand that heavy-duty vehicles were involved in that particular crash.
Yes.
I would actually love to play something that an eyewitness said. An eyewitness said, look, what happened here was 2 tipper drivers, you know, basically just being reckless and all that. Thankfully, the chairman of Tipper Drivers is here. Okay, so he is going to speak for his own people. But how do you? I have seen ESMA on the road trying their best, and I must commend the Edo State Traffic Management Agency. But how do you manage these heavy-duty vehicles? What are the rules for them when driving within the city?
Yes, we have a general rule for driving in the city, or what we call highbrow area. The first rule is no vehicle is allowed to run more than 50 kilometers per hour in the city area. But you discover commercial vehicles, even some truck, they speed more than the recommended speed limit. But we have recommended speed limit for vehicles, maybe 100 kilometers per hour for cars, 90 kilometers for buses and for luxurious buses. So as for general rule in the city, you are not supposed to run more than 50 kilometers. I think one of the things that actually...
Including heavy-duty vehicles?
Including heavy-duty vehicles.
Okay.
But generally, even with the heavy-duty vehicle, when you are loaded, you are not supposed to even run more than 45 kilometers per hour.
Okay.
But we are just putting at say any vehicle, whether cars, whether speed, whether jeep, you are not supposed to run more than 50 kilometers per hour. But you see people running more than that is generally. And for one thing, because based on the accident that have been going on, we started a research. What are the basic causes, the immediate causes? You discover that there is a whole lot of drunk driving. This period.
Drunk driving?
Yes, what we call DUI, driving under influence.
Okay.
It might not even be drunk. We have a lot of illicit drugs all over the place now. People are high, people are driving, they are not keeping to rules. And what is the aftermath? The effect now is loss of death.
Okay.
Innocent people who are going on their own. That is always the back effect of accident.
Okay, let's come to Comrade Austin here, please. What is the procedure for people joining your union, becoming a tipper driver? How do you vet and make sure that before somebody becomes a driver of a heavy-duty vehicle, the person is qualified? That's one. And then the second question is, how do you ensure discipline among your drivers? Because people have said a lot of things about tipper drivers and how sometimes they feel like they're on top of the world and all that. But I would like you to answer these two questions.
Well, thank you very much.
Please come closer to the microphone, sir.
Thank you very much, the viewers. I welcome you all. First, I want to sympathize with the family of those that lost their lives during the accident. First, before you become a member of the association, you must have passed through screening. If you learn with tipper, meaning you undergo processes, you become an applicant, you go through the motorboy, then we teach you. Once you qualified, they give you license, we check your license. If your license is okay to drive, then you are fit to drive. But on sanitization of our members, every last Saturday of the month, that is when we hold our meeting, we teach them the rules and regulations of driving. They bring all their tippers to our secretariat, where we will check their tires, their tie rod, their brake system. We have a task force on all those things. That is where you see every last Saturday of the month, you see tipper parking by our secretariat there. Park everywhere. Everybody will be asking, what is happening? What is happening? Nothing is happening. We are checking if your vehicle is worthy to be on the road.
You do this alone, or do you do it in partnership with any government agency?
Road safety are with us.
Okay.
We invite them time to time. They do come to lecture our drivers, hold meeting with us, tell them the rules and regulations of driving. They must not get drunk. They must not even drink at all before getting into the steering. You understand? And God has been faithful to us by the grace of God.
So if somebody breaks any of these rules, for instance, the one that happened a couple days back,
Yes.
Thankfully the MD of ESMA is here, and he has said, even if he did not want to mention the people, he said two drivers were being reckless and had to jam another car or another vehicle that was coming on its own. But people who were there have said one tipper driver was trying to overtake another on that narrow road, and then they ran into a bus and all that. And we understand that one of them ran away. I don't know if he has been arrested now. When people, your members, behave like this or are indisciplined like this, what are the mechanisms for meting out discipline on them?
The news which they were circulating was not correct. That is not the truth.
The news is not correct?
No, it's not correct. That is not the truth. Yes. What happened? Two buses were overtaking themselves. And tipper as he overtake, he have to swerve. As he overtake, see tipper. It is not face to face. In order for you not to jab the tipper, you have to swerve. Swerving to the other side. Look at the other one they are overtaking. That is how they run into the tippers. It was the buses that were overtaking themselves, and not the tipper overtaking. The other tipper parked as a result of the accident. Let me see what is happening to my colleagues. And if you look at the scene, the other tipper parked out of the road completely, trying to rescue the situations. That is how they descended on that one. The tipper two tippers are overtaking. If the two of them ran into accident, you see, just will face here, the other one will face there. But on this case, the other one was well packed. And the news, I've just got the news that one of them ran away. None of them ran away. None of them ran away.
Okay, so that is your own version of events.
Yes.
MD.
Yes, we are actually not here to put blames on anybody, but the fact is that, you see, lives were lost. You know, we are looking at how do we do consequences to avoid future occurrence of this. The fact is that tippers were there and vehicles were there, pedestrians were involved, and people life was lost. Thank God we are living to do analysis this morning. But if we were part of that scenario and we are not alive, then how do we? So we are looking at it, sir, the chairman. We are not saying, oh, you are right or you are wrong. But what do we do? The question is that, what do you do to your members who are not obeying some of these things? Let me tell you, why do you refer to tipper drivers as hired killers? I don't know whether you are aware.
I've heard that.
That is their nickname. They call them as hired killer. Why? How? Because of recklessness. Because not keeping to rule. These are vehicles that they are not passengers vehicle. But the fact is that they violate the law based on this. So we begin to look at what is the cause.
Do you at ESMA, do you liaise with tipper drivers on a regular basis?
Yes, definitely. I think we've had stakeholders meeting, which we are still going to continue. Like what you said, we already start in one of the things we want to do to actually check this. You know, and especially this is Ember month. The activity is high. Everybody wrapping up to see getting money, going for holidays or going for Christmas. So one of the things we are actually looking at, we're going to have an interactive section with them. We're going to be having a comprehensive training program with them. What they've been doing is enlightenment program, coming to their parks to say, but we want to take them into classrooms now to now actually talk to them, to actually teach them on what they call defensive, offensive driving, advanced drivers program. That is what we want to do with them.
Let's
sorry, my brother. Let me come in. Like our MD said that the people refer to them as hired killers. All these are to tarnish the image of the association. I'm very sure for the past 3 years now, can anybody here tell me the accident that involved tipper that is fatter for the past 3 years? If not this one that they run, we are not to blame, we are not to claim who is at fault, who is wrong or who is right as far as life is involved. But before that incident happened, for the past 3 years, can anybody say this tipper had an accident in so and so area, 2 people died?
Are you saying in Edo State or generally in Nigeria?
In Edo State.
Okay.
In Edo State.
Okay, but we are not actually here to throw blames left and center. The reason you are invited here is to represent your union so that we have a fair and balanced conversation. But let's come over to Mr. Igebo. You've been listening to the two gentlemen speaking side by side. You are a resident, you live here, you drive your cars here, and on multiple occasions you've told me that the way people drive in Benin actually frightens you. The MD of ESMA is here, the chairman of the Tipper Drivers Union is here. So if there is a bit of advice or suggestion or submission you want to promulgate or push to both of them, what would that be?
Well, first and foremost, I want to commend the MD of ESMA and as well as my brother, who's the chairman of the Tipper Drivers Association. I think to have a primary foundation on bodies that represent a particular a family is a way to work, to create a work in progress on the way to make things better. As you know, the ESMA boss is here. He's a very good friend of mine. Every program they do every year, I'm always very involved with it because I like the idea. I understand the importance and safety of people and people who goes around their daily day-to-day business hustle and in a way to survive, and also understand the position of the Drivers Association. I'm actually happy that they have an association, which means in this incident that has happened, the vehicle that was involved, the tipper driver's vehicle identification can be easily found working with them. Now that they already work with the road safety, I think they should also engage more with ESMA, because ESMA is one of the programs that I actually like, whereby I communicate with him most time. We know very well that drug abuse issues is a big problem in this country. It's a big problem in the state. Just about 2 weeks ago, I was on ITV live program on this drug abuse, and a lot of people are taking a lot of drugs that influences their behavior during activities like the one that happened the other day. I was deeply saddened to hear the number of people that died. Even some description about a lady dying and the baby being alive. How could such things be happening?
So you think drugs are a very huge...
Trust me, I don't want to say that I'm there and I've seen it, but I know that the way these people behave, I'm always on the road, is not a good thing. First and foremost, tippers drivers. I think they shouldn't mistake tippers drivers for Dangote drivers. Because those two people are very different.
Is there a difference?
Yeah, there is a
And
difference.
aren't they all cheap and heavy-duty vehicles?
No. Tipper are the one that carry sand.
You know, like you said,
Oh, okay.
tippers are the one that carry sand. I've known for a long time now. I've never heard that they've had accident. Not just because he said it. I was even going to make such contribution.
Okay.
Edsma is doing a fantastic job. Look at the girls, the women out there. I never stop without regarding them. The pressure is on these people. I think a lot of money, funds needs to be channeled towards assisting these people with Edsma in a way whereby even their own safety. I was driving down Ogbowo one day. I saw an Edsma guy being molested by a guy who was not happy, a bus driver, because he probably told him where he was parking was wrong. They were dragging each other. I was saddened. So when you look at these instances and these incidents, it is not very good for us as people. We need to make sure that this issue of road traffic is a priority. If 9 people dies in one day inside the town, there was another accident at Ikpokma. It only shows to you that what I've been crying about, which the Edsma boss is here, he knows I've always told him. There must be a way, like I was happy he said, the drivers are vetted, their licenses are checked. These are measures that is very good. I think the Edsma needs to be supported more with the presence of law enforcement, maybe the military, to make people understand that they cannot form 5 lanes. When you're driving in major areas now, you see these bus drivers, these are homeless children from Ted Junction and all these other areas who have never had no love. They grew up as conductors, they end up driving vehicles and become a vehicle driver. They have no brake lights, they have no trafficators, the vehicles are mashed up, they are menace on the street. To me, I feel that the government should pay a lot of attention by supporting the Edsma a lot more, putting resources, working with the association of the tipper, working with the association of the bus drivers association, to make them understand that there is some level of enforcement that needs to happen. You cannot be driving on the road and the road have 2 lanes going, 2 lanes coming. Before you know it, the bus drivers comes and they block up the road. If they are fined and they are persecuted, penalty and the vehicles are confiscated, and they pay up to 100,000 to pay themselves, I'm sure next time they will never do it. These are some basic things that we must engage with. Because at the end of the day, it's getting ridiculous.
Thankfully, we have with us the PRO now of the Edo State Police Command, SP Kontongs Bello. He's joining us via phone this morning. Good morning, SP Bello. Good to have you here.
Hello, good morning, Charles.
Very good. Okay. So in the studio here, I know you're not here, but we have the MD of ESMA, Edo State Traffic Management Agency. He's seated here. He can hear you. We have the chairman of the tipper drivers union here in Edo State, and then we have Mr. Itinosa Igebo, who is also here. So the conversation is going on about, the use of the roads, the recklessness on the roads, and then the increasing number of fatal accidents in Benin City recently. Now, of course, the police has a traffic police department, which I know works in partnership with the Edo State Traffic Management Agency. But I want to know, the level of enforcement of traffic rules and regulations coming from your end, the Edo State Police Command.
Okay. Good morning, other participants. I greet everybody this morning.
Good morning.
It is good that we come out together to educate road users in order to prevent loss of life, which is a key in everything, that life and property should not be lost at the time that we are using the road. And I will appreciate the next time when you're organizing, you invite the PRO of road safety too, and VIO to all of them. They are very important members that can be able to discuss more and more on this matter. Yes, so recently we have been observing road accidents, especially within the Benin Metro, and this is mostly caused by impatience from the side of the road users, let me say drivers, other people that push things on the road, and even pedestrians. We are all responsible for all these things, but especially, let me say, drivers, and especially those commercials one. We sincerely the rate at which accidents is happening is as mostly based on our preliminary investigations, mostly as the result of recklessness from commuters. Take for instance the one that happened 2 days ago at Sakomba Road involving a tipper and a Vanet bus known as 2K2K. Two Vanet bus were involved in that accident. Going by the little preliminary investigation, because there's a detailed investigation that's coming out, because the report has been sent to VIO to ascertain the level of the truck that run into the Vanet box. If it's due to brake failure, or we can conclude from information that we receive on the site is as due to recklessness. That one for now, we are waiting for the report from the VIO. So like the one that the truck run into the Vanet box, killing some scores of persons in that process, and another Vanet will run into them too. Like in two Vanet box, those are property. So then the life that are lost especially is uncalled for. So the report from that aspect will come out from the VIO to also ascertain if both the drivers, the Vanet box are reckless, because sometimes you find out drivers can be and they'll be running to meet up with their daily returns to the owners of the cars. So those ones is the boss. Yeah, that one is uncalled for. Sometimes you will see a tipper or truck driver observing that the road is congested, but it's not slowing down. You just believe that people are looking at him, be on. That are not rules in driving. If you're approaching a junction, you're approaching a crowded place, the first thing that should come to your mind is to slow down, because everything we are doing is for the benefit of man. You know, if that's man, I mean both woman and men. So it's for the benefit of man, and the issue is not about survival. So if at the end of the day that what we are trying to do in order to meet up with our daily survival, at the end of the day that people lost their life and property destroyed, that is not that's uncalled for.
Sorry, sir.
Yes.
SP Bello. Please,
yes.
The issue of driving against traffic, also known as one way, is something that is Benin City is notorious for. Now, I would share my personal experiences, especially along places like Slope in the evenings, heading from Ikpoba River towards Ramat Park, from 6 or 7 p.m. You know, it's usually
in second circular road. We have a place like that too.
Now.
Yes.
Now, thankfully, the ESMA bus is here.
Yes.
Last week, I think that was last week. Yeah, I saw people driving against traffic. Now, but I saw ESMA men and members of the Edo State Vigilante forcing them to go back. But does it just end with going back? Aren't they supposed to be made scapegoats of to show people why they shouldn't drive against traffic?
Good. That's why I say sometimes if you are doing it, bring in the road safety to do this. On many occasions, I will see situations like somebody beating traffic. You will see a man or woman from either the police or the ESMA controlling traffic under the sun, inside the rain. You know, but you see people coming out to beat them. They are inside car coming out to beat them. And this thing, these people are doing for the benefit of all of us to enjoy a free flow. So there is pass on so many occasions that you see a driver either by police or by ESMA being arrested. You see how others, pedestrians or other drivers will come and begin to join the driver that was that committed an offense to fight either this police or the ESMA. That's the level we find ourselves in Edo State here. So the people, instead of supporting these law enforcers to enforce the law for everyone to benefit, but they join now the wrongdoer in order to prevent him from being arrested. Until you see that the ESMA personnel or the police personnel are much in number that they join force before they can be able to carry this person to be made to pay a due that tomorrow, if he pays him tomorrow, he will not be able to do. One thing with us Nigerians, I'm sorry to use this law, that we are very lawless in our dealings. And those people that are not part of even the crime, they will now join the criminal. You know? So that is how painful it is. Somebody walking under the sun, and they say they need to be encouraged to apprehend those ones that are wrong, but they are supporting the wrongdoer. So we must keep enforcing it.
Yeah, but there are even fingers pointed at the police. You know that when there is traffic congestion, sometimes police vehicles they just move into the other lane, and then because nobody can stop them, they are policemen, they drive against traffic, and people follow this lead. And I mean, it happens. So I don't know.
Let me give you. There are sometimes when you see, I'm not just trying. There are some people that can do it wrongly, but sometimes you don't just assume that because a police have access to follow one road, if he's not causing this, sometimes it's because of distress. He's being called for, and he has to beat his way around to go for that distress. It happens. Sometimes, if you see police unnecessarily creating hold up, it's because there's a report unnecessarily. We would say, okay, create an unnecessary hold up because somebody's car has been stolen. So if this criminal has stolen this car, cannot be able to pass because he knows it's being followed, we have recovered so many cars in this town on daily weeks by creating unnecessary hold up. So sometimes when the police working, you don't understand. It's only the person that was affected will understand. So sometimes it happens like that. Yes, inconveniences will come with enforcement of law or with trying to rescue a situation.
All right, thank you, but stay on the line. We'll have to go now to the MD of ESMA. Thankfully, he's here. We want to get his reaction to some of the things you've said. Now, you heard SP Kontongs Bello say something. He said sometimes when people commit offenses, bus drivers or drivers on the road, and they are being apprehended, that rather than people saying, okay, go ahead and do your job, sometimes people join these people to fight law enforcement agents like yours, like the police and all that. If it is called law enforcement, are you supposed to be begging people to obey? Are you supposed to be enforcing it?
Yes. Thank you. I think it's very common every day. Every job has its own hazard. So part of the hazard, we are faced with either attack. That's why we are vulnerable. But I just believe that people feel they feel easily oppressed, especially what I discovered in the city of Benin. You arrest a commercial vehicle, everybody will come out, board the passenger, leave him now, let him go back, or don't arrest him, or you are arresting an offender who have violated an offense, and instead of allowing you to do your job, you see people coming from nowhere. You have a lot of unemployed people. Look at the accident Wednesday. You have almost 500 people coming out when we brought a vehicle to remove a tow vehicle to remove the accidental vehicle so that the road will be clear. We were not allowed to do it. They chased us away. More than 500 people. I said, where are they coming from? What are they supposed to be doing at that particular time? Then why do we become a target when we are coming to rescue people who have just had accident? So it is very common. That is why we are putting up what we call a multi-agency enforcement program now. That is the military, the police, the road safety, and all that will give us enough force to complement ourselves. Even yesterday, we still have a meeting with civil defense. Their new boss who came on synergy areas we can actually assist ourselves, and we want to make operational modalities to be at least once a day, not the one we are doing twice or 3 times a week now. We want to see that every day we are in places where the target area where you have one way going on, like even Supply Road, you have one way from 6 in the evening, you have one way, and just like the Koba Slope you talked about, we want to be going there every day with a multi-agency task force.
Okay, I want to come back to SP Bello now. Yeah, I'm sure you heard what the MD said there.
Yes,
but your men and his men enforce, traffic rules and regulations in some places. But the accusation against you people is that from 6 o'clock, you people go home, and then people go ahead and do whatever they like. Is there a closing time for law enforcement?
There's no closing time. In fact, with the Commissioner of Police recently has given a warning too. For traffic personnel, the closing time is 22:00 hours. Supposed to be, that's 10 p.m. in the night for traffic. At that time, you see that traffic, most people have gone home, unless a few cars which cannot pose a threat on the road of traffic gridlock there. So the closing hour for traffic personnel, because there are two for the police. They have two shifting from 6:00 hours to 14:00 hours, and 14:00 hours to 22:00 hours. So those are the time traffic personnel work within.
Okay.
Yes, this is thing that we are trying to contend, the issue of closing before time. And especially, the manpower is a factor. If you look at most of these traffic, we use most of the men and aware that we need combat work and operational. So most of these traffic personnel, you see that is women. And me and you now, if your wife did not come back, we see level of 8. Those are factors that we need to really fight within the service. It's also giving us concern by closing between 6 and 7.
Okay, so
Yes,
the chairman of the tipper drivers is here. He said something.
Mr. Austin.
Yeah, so please, according to the preliminary investigations for this unfortunate accident that happened 2 days ago, the reports we got was that one of the tipper drivers ran away, fled the scene. But the comrade here is saying no, he did not run, that he's in custody or so. Kindly put us through. Is he in custody or did he actually run away?
The tipper driver, the accident happened on Tuesday. He has not run away. The man has been brought, if you are following it up, the man has been arrested and brought to area command for detention. One, for his own safety, because the lives are lost there. Most actions that was about to take place to move on him, just as they moved the other tipper that stopped there to, according to the report, information that he stopped there to check what happens to his brother. Another version of the report we are hearing, but that's why we are waiting for comprehensive report of the investigation from our side and then the side of the VIO. The mob, that they attacked the other truck too, which is still with us at the area command, and the other truck that was involved in the accident, as they have said, they towed it. I think is in the process of the road safety also. But the driver that was involved in the accident was brought into our station that same day. That was why you see some of the angry mobs came to the station trying to say the police should give them the man. They want to also do the same thing as he did to those people that died. Of course, which were not there. So because of that action, you should know that the man is in custody with the police.
Okay, so I'll come to you. Stay on the line, please. So, Mr. Yoba, you've been listening to SP Bello, the Edo State Police PRO.
Yes.
So, you are a regular user of the road and all that. So, if there's something you were going to say to the Edo State Police Command, what would that be?
Well, see, to be fair and to be honest to you, like the SP Bello just talked about manpower, and he spoke about women. You having a wife not coming home at certain times. even the police officers and the ESMA officers that works on these major roads when there's traffic and it is nighttime. Trust me, the place is so dark, you hardly ever even really identify them. And with the way people are driving, evidently, I feel sorry for the lives of those people. Infrastructure really needs to come in. There must be some level of a pointer to understand that at Limit Junction there is a police officer there or a woman who is trying to control traffic, who people don't respect in any way or form. And for the people that also cries and say, oh, Oga, leave out. We want to arrest this guy, like Esma boss MD was saying, oh, please just leave it, because they themselves are also caught up. They want to get home. They want to get to the point of their destination. By so doing, wrongly appealing to allow the driver who has broken the rule. That takes us back to the basics. The people that drive these buses are most of the time, these transport vehicles are people who were homeless, most of them. They were conductors from this area. They are hooligans, and they eventually find a kind of a lifestyle to work and earn money, which is good. It takes them off the street, but they need to be refined. It's not always about enforcement. It's not always about reactive measures, proactive measures. For example, I think there should be a team that comes out on some level within a period of a month or two to make these people understand that you cannot form several lanes. That rush, that gold rush of why they block the road, you don't get to where you are going. The people in the vehicles are stuck, anxiety, maybe their kids are not eating at home. You see that this whole thing starts from somewhere, and that issues must be resolved. The kind of people that drive, I could be driving down on a Lexus or a Prado. If I'm not with my police personnel, the boss will tell you, come on, move your motor, I'll hit it. And I'm thinking, look at this fool. At the end of the day, these guys are intoxicated. Until we go back to that aspect, the police are trying, they're overstressed. ETSMA, I've seen them.
So you think that they don't have enough personnel?
Not just personnel. I said I've seen officers, this yellow fever, working in pitch darkness. They can be hit with a car. The whole place is rowdy. Nobody listens to them. There must be a way that resources must be put in to assist these people. For instance, in England, only police beat traffic, only police use one way because they are responding to calls. If not for, he said it now. If a police officer decides to beat a call or maybe vigilante, they're probably responding to a robbery, whatever. Why should you do the same? For example, you cannot blame the motorists who will follow suit, because why? Those hooligans that drive those buses that has blocked those roads, whether it's in Ikmobai, whether it is Upper, whether it is a Kenwan road, they just jam lock and lock them heads in one place. They can be there for 3-4 hours out of desperation.
Okay.
They want to find a way out. So this probably goes back to making these guys understand that there are certain rules you cannot break. If you create more than 2 lanes, which could ordinarily allow vehicles to keep moving, evidently you pay every fine for it.
Okay, let's go back to SP Bello, because he's actually, he's on duty right now. SP Bello, during the National Sports Festival, I keep going, I'll go back to the National Sports Festival. There was a lot of discipline on the streets of Benin because the whole of Nigeria came here to participate in the sports. I mean, every time I was driving here, when I get to places like 2nd, 3rd, Dawson, you see your men, sometimes men of the vigilante, alongside the ESMA people with guns, making sure that people were obeying the traffic rules and regulations. In fact, there was some sort of sanity in Benin during the sports festival. But it looked like the moment it ended and everybody left, we returned to status quo ante. What happened?
Actually, during the sports festival, there was some sport that are supposed to go through the road, and our tradition in Nigeria, we are expecting some high-profile personality. Forgive me for using that word. And again, just as we have talked about issue of manpower, within that period, you observe that we involve every law enforcement in that assignment. The road safety were there, the correctional service were there. Okay, road safety is normal, is their work, they were there. The civil defense were there. The ESMA, of course, were there. The police, of course, they were there. Then you see these constabularies also, they were there. So the men are fully on the road. And that's why when you see a driver trying to misbehave, when you see the number of people, especially the agile men around on the road, you see everybody now will be going to misbehave. I told you that was specifically the reason, because every of the agency are on the road, not just like the police, the traffic wardens, and then the ESMA alone, just as we are observing now. And where we see that I am mostly women. So that is exactly what happens during that period. I brought also the issue of our violence on the road. You can see the road safety are not being given chance to do their work in this town. I hardly see road safety on this town. Reason being that people are violent against them. The police that even carry arms, not the aspect of the traffic police warden, they carry arms. It's because of that some people have to force to obey the police. It's pathetic when you see a driver coming out to fight road safety officer, fight ESMA. So it's because of this thing. But if everybody is around to do the work, which it cannot be always, because there are other work to be done. So that is exactly what really happened. If you observe in this city, most people doesn't use seatbelt. Most of these commercial buses doesn't have mirrors. I don't know whether you observe that. Those are also other factors, because you are driving, you are not seeing your back, you are not seeing what is happening. You can maneuver anyone, at the end of the day you block road. Okay. So basically, for during this protest, that's what happened. Every other agency was on the road.
Right, so I think it's well. I'll let you go. SP Contongs Bello, Public Relations Officer, Edo State Police Command. Thank you for your time, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for the members. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right, let's come over to you, Comrade Austin. You said something interesting. You said people that tipper drivers are not the same thing as the heavy duty 18-wheeler drivers.
Yes.
Okay, what is the difference? Like, I know that you said something like we are the ones that deal with sand and all that, but people who drive those kinds of lorries, they don't drive the 18-wheelers as well?
No, when you talk of Dangote, those one run interstates.
Okay.
Tipper drivers, we run within the state. We don't go out of the states. You understand? So we run within the state. And we must correct one impression that tipper driver. It is not the way people are looking at it. We are very decent. We ensure that our drivers do not go out of the rules and regulations. And we want to let the public know as well. Any driver that had an accident twice a year will not be allowed to drive for 6 months. We restrict the movement.
Okay.
You tell us the reason. What is the cause of the accident? You understand? That is the reason why you see some vehicle, the driver that drive this vehicle today, tomorrow will not drive that. You understand? So we have rules and regulations.
Someone had an accident twice in a year. He will not drive for 6 months.
Yes, he will not drive for 6 months. The association, I introduced that under my administration.
Okay.
I introduced it. And since I introduced it, I've seen that the rate of accidents amongst or within the tipper drivers has reduced. Have reduced to 32%. You understand? Then 2, overhauling. Poor. I have lectured them. Stop overhauling. There are people that are with high blood pressure.
Okay.
Immediately they are inside the vehicle, you may pour it will shock. You don't know what it will lead the person to, whether a man or a woman. So if you see any of the tipper drivers that are overhauling, do us a favor, get his number, send it to us.
How did they send to you? How did they make contact with you?
Any member of the executive, my number is in everywhere.
No, call it now so that anybody who wants to make contact with an official line, they want to report any of your members to you, how do they call?
080, that's my number, 63912600.
Repeat it again, please.
080 63912600.
All right, go ahead. You are about to land on your thoughts. Finish up.
Thank you. Not only overhauling. You see them, any tipper driver is seen overtaking dangerously. Send the number to us. All you need to do, as at that particular area, you overtake. Whether, for example, second junction, dancing. Just say this tipper driver, the dangerous overtaking in so and so area. Please, caution him. We'll say signal around. In less than 1 hour, he will be around. But the other question is, you that gave us the information, we also need you.
Okay.
To say this is the area. This was the boss behind. Because I wasn't there. Another executive wasn't there. It is you that is there that said this is the vehicle behind. You explain. I will see that if that is true, we'll have trouble now.
Wow.
We'll try them.
Let me ask the chairman let me maybe make suggestion to the chairman too. I know him. He's a very decent person, and I know that he's trying to. It's a newly branded tipper drivers association.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
You know, actually, the difference between his tipper drivers and the truck driver, they are driving. It's articulated driver.
Yes.
It's articulated vehicle. That is the truck, the bigger trailers. His only, they are not, most of his trucks, they are not articulated. So the dynamics of driving an articulated vehicle is actually different from, yes. But the fact is that the only observation I want to put to your loading, the loading system is always exposed. You know, somebody takes sound or carries sound, you
and it's open, and the sun is pouring out on your car.
And sometimes even damage somebody. Yes, I don't know whether it is possible to also introduce in your training or your system a coverage system, a way you can protect those things from speeding when it is moving.
Thank you very much. We have been doing that. We have tarpaulin and we also have task force on that area. You understand? But the truth is, there are times, you know, it's heavy duty and there are a lot of breeze. As they are going, as they are flying, the breeze will be trying to be dragging the tarpaulin. Okay. So within the one, if it is, for example, you load at Ohio and you want to tip in Rama Park, Abo Park, you will not experience it as much. Okay. But those that are going far, you will experience before they get there, breeze must have been trying to remove it. So we also train them to put a lot of sand so that breeze cannot be taken.
So please, our phone lines have been buzzing. Let's just allow our audience a few minutes to ask us questions or make suggestions. 0706-263-9275 or 0903-939-4427. You can also call 0812-178-9154. Keep it short. 30 seconds. You go straight to the point. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Mr. Kat.
Morning to you.
Yes, Mr. Omar.
All right, you're welcome.
First and foremost, our ex-member, good morning, sir.
Good morning, my brother.
I think your boys are doing very good in this state. I'm very happy about it.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, and for the issue of the drivers, Thank God the chairman is there. Oga Mr. Chairman,
You welcome.
the bottle where your drivers they put behind their steering, what did they say that bottle? The second question is, how many of your members get valid driver's license? And the information wey dey reach us, the person wey get accident for Sapoma Road did not get driver's license. Can you confirm the driver's license? Give us the paper. No, you don't want to find out whether you really get driver's license. Thank you and good morning.
All right, thank you. Answer, Mr. Omar Osifo, that's his name.
Mr. Omar Osifo, you welcome. Good morning. Thank you for the question. One, the bottle you are talking about, they put behind their vehicle. We are not aware, but in case you are aware of any vehicle that are putting bottle behind their vehicle,
steering wheel,
please send the number of that vehicle to us. We'll go after the vehicle and we'll call you while it's facing trial for you to know what the association is doing. That one is one. You see, there are misinformation everywhere. The one that the driver that had an accident in Upper Sagbomba, he does not have driver license. That is not true. I personally took the driver to area command and handed him over to the police.
So he has a license?
He has a license. The first thing I asked, where is your license? He said, it's with me. Oh, fine, let me see. He showed me the photostat. I said, not photostat. Tell your boy to go and get the original. And they handed it to the police.
So he has a license. Okay, fine, no problem. Thank you, thank you. Hello, good morning. All right. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Charles.
Good morning.
This is Peter calling. Peter CDK.
From where? Where are you calling from?
You see,
Where are you calling from?
I thank you people.
Where are you calling from? Peter, where are you calling from? Where are you calling from?
Calling from the Kobahi.
All right, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I thank the chairman, the ESMA, and you and even the police. They see we have to make the state place a peaceful state. It's just that out of 12, you must have a Judas. Nobody wake up in the morning and say you want to have an accident. Nobody prays for that. That is why it's called an accident. The chairman is trying his best. As he said, it's a new rebranded association, honestly speaking. It's just that sometimes you don't predict this thing. Nobody predicts to go have an accident. And when it happens like this, the effort the chairman will put will make you to know that nobody pays for it.
All right, thank you.
And again, the ESMA people, they are trying. You see, when you go to Jamila Junction, unlike before, there are many now. But sometimes you go to other junctions, you see one woman ESMA there, you see two, and which is not enough. So we will try and see how we can be able to eradicate the unnecessary partaking and dangerous driving in those states. Thank you. I agree the state chairman there and others members. God bless you. Thank you.
God bless you. God bless you. All right, last call. Hello, good morning.
Hello?
Turn down the volume on radio. Yeah.
Yeah. This is Charles.
Charles from where?
Okay. From Benin.
All right, quickly, you have 30 seconds.
Okay, so what happened in that accident, I think I will just look at it from 2 points. Number one, obtaining having a valid license is not enough. Are you qualified for it? Everyone they obtain it, they just pay to get it without undergoing training.
Right.
That's one. Why the second one? No traffic light is working. Otherwise, if that traffic light out, so like I was working, I think that would have also reduce the speed.
Right. Thank you.
Of that stuff.
Sadly, people are still calling, but I can't answer this. Okay, this is what we will do. Hold on, please hold on. Please, this is what we will do. Okay, because of popular requests, because I've been getting so many messages, so just hold on. We will take a break, and when we come back by 10:05. Then we'll take more reactions from the audience so that we can receive more questions. Okay? I think that's fair enough. So that's fair enough. So please just stay with us.
Join the conversation on KUFM's dialogue as we introduce written voices. You can now keep the conversation going beyond 10 a.m. Send us your views on topical or burning issues of the moment, news, current affairs, or social-political issues that you may wish to share your thoughts on. It must be civil, factual, straight to the point, and in not more than 150 words, and we will give it a voice. Send your views to kufmdialogue@gmail.com or via our WhatsApp platform on 0807 552 7556. Keep the conversation going. Dialogue. Your voice counts.
From Benin City to the world.
This is 92.7 KUFM News.
The time is 10 a.m. Good morning and welcome to the KUFM News Update at 10. I am Charles Oporum. Edo State Governor Godwin Obaseki has charged the newly trained communication officers in the state civil service to focus on building broken trust between the government and the masses in their various campaign messages. The governor gave the charge on Wednesday during his working visit to Edo Communication Organization at the John Oyegun Civil Service Academy in Benin City. The focus of the training was on improving the skills of the trainees on how to communicate government policies and programs to Edo people. The Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Abubakar Malami, has said the federal government would not adopt the policy of naming and shaming in disclosing the identities of suspected financiers of terrorism activities. This, Malami said, was because the federal government acknowledges the constitutional right of such suspects to the presumption of innocence and would rather charge them to court and for their identities to be made public in court. The federal government has, for some months now, announced the arrest of some financiers of terrorism, some of them allegedly bureau de change operators. The Senate on Wednesday passed the 2022-2024 medium-term expenditure and fiscal strategy paper, retaining all the assumptions and projections submitted to it by the President Muhammadu Buhari in July. The Red Chamber retained the exchange rate at 410 naira 15 kobo per dollar proposed by the executive and also approved the projected gross domestic product growth rate of 4.20%. And finally, on the news update this morning, the Asset Management Corporation of Nigeria, AMCON, has taken over the mansion of former governor of Kwara State, Abdul Fattah Ahmed, over 5 billion naira indebtedness. AMCON said the takeover followed the order of Honorable Justice A.M. Liman of the Federal High Court Lagos Division, who also ordered the freezing of the bank accounts of the former governor and his two companies, including Trans Properties and Investment Limited and Trans IT Consulting Limited. And that's the KUFM News Update on R. I am Charles Oporum saying thanks for listening and good morning.
To those who are huddled around radio.
Hello, business owners and service providers. Your station of choice, KUFM 92.7 Benin City, is out with another bumper offer. Introducing KU Awoof Market. We are giving huge discounts on adverts at specific times of the day. That means you don't have any reason not to let the world know about your products and services. Cause no matter the size of your pocket, KUFM has got you covered. For inquiries, please call 0703 805 0243 or 0807 401 4147. Hurry now and take advantage of this wonderful offer to advertise your goods and services on KUFM at mouth-watering discounts. KU Awoof Market gives you massive exposure with the station's wide reach across its terrestrial and online platforms at lower rates. KUFM, your business growth partner.
Wow, the detergent can come again. Wow. You dey wash plenty and you dey say wow. You fit to win a millions as you dey wash with, wow. Jump 50K every day. Wow. Even at time to take calculate. Wow. Million naira full ground. If you want to know how, just check the pack. Wow. Get your own car though when you wash with wow. Detergent, you dey wash show. Million naira bracket for wow detergent promo.
This promo will end for the 25th of October 2021.
Milo! Correct!
Tell me first, why you be say I dey give you Milo every day?
Because now every day I dey play like a baller, I dey run like a sprinter, and I come dey learn book like a scholar. So I go need all the energy why I fit get. You see am so?
I see am well.
Make you give your pikin dem ogbonge energy. Milo Active Go with the goodness of malt, milk and cocoa wey go help your pikin dem to dey active every day. Milo, energy to fit do more.
Have you seen calling Captain Mama, protector of the Ayo family? She's making her golden one in the kitchen.
Ta-da! Breakfast is ready!
Mommy, why are you always excited when we have Golden Morn?
Because it helps me nourish you. You know it contains
iron and vitamin C.
Yes, it does.
Enjoy Golden Morn with your family every day. It contains iron and vitamin C to nourish you day by day. Golden Morn, make every day amazing.
Benin City will experience the overflow of abundant blessings and divine breakthrough from God from Monday 4th to Sunday 10th October. It is Turning Point 2021 with Bishop Dr. and Reverend Mrs. Abraham Chigbundu. Theme, Unstoppable Power. Time, 4 p.m. daily, Sunday 10th October, 8 a.m. Guest speaker, Bishop Gordy Okafor, Apostle Lawrence Achidume, Apostle Innocent Okbe, and your host, Bishop Dr. Abraham Chigbundu. Ministering in songs, Moses Bliss, Freedom Voice Mass Choir, and other anointed song ministers. Special futures, Ministers Consult, Wednesday 6th October 9 a.m. Singles Prophetic Release, Friday 8th October 9 a.m. Festival of Deliverance, Saturday 9th October at 6 a.m. Venue, the headquarters of Voice of Freedom Ministries Incorporated, 29 Adesua Grammar School Road, GRA, Benin City. Free transportation available. Call 08035704010 for more inquiries.
This Turning Point Conference, your helpers will locate you.
Have you heard of the OPay debit card? The debit card of a new generation designed specifically for young people living in Nigeria. The OPay debit card comes with amazing benefits. With an OPay card, you can earn over 15% annual interest paid into your wallet daily on your savings. Get monthly cashbacks, free bank transfers, and zero card maintenance fees. Fantastic, right? Well, that's not all. You can also access up to 40,000 Naira credit balance to pay for your expenses and many more. So what are you waiting for? Apply for the OPay debit card via the OPay app. Download OPay now and start enjoying amazing benefits. The OPay app is available on Google Play Store or the App Store. Terms and conditions apply.
Get ready to make your experience a memorable one. Save a Lot Fun Park is where you should be. Save a Lot Fun Park in conjunction with Engraced Events and Entertainment presents Wonderland Experience 1.0 featuring games, comedy, dance competition, parade, raffle draw, face painting, music, horse riding, games arcade, go-karts, racing, and lots more. Also featuring talent hunts for young minds, and the winner goes home with 50,000 Naira. First runner-up, 30,000 Naira. Second runner-up, 20,000 Naira. Date, Independence Day, Friday, October 1st, 2021. Time, 12 noon. Venue, Save a Lot Fun Park, Benin, Lagos Expressway after Ekiadolo Junction, Benin City. Access to the event is from 0 to 4 years old and it's free. 4 years and above, 8,000 Naira. VIP, 5,000 Naira. Tickets available at Nadia Bakery, Ubawa Main Gate, Home and Away Restaurant, Ibokma off Sapele Road. For sponsorship and inquiries, please call 0818-856-1636 or call 0805-596-5030.
Technology is improving education all over Nigeria and Africa by reducing time spent on administrative work and making learning easy. Over 730 schools in Nigeria, Ghana, and Zimbabwe currently use Adverse to digitize processes around learning, finance, administration, and communication. This enables schools save time on operations, save money, and increase efficiency. That's not all. Every parent, student, and teacher can enjoy up to 15 gigabytes of MTN data to browse on Adverse for free every month. With Adverse, you can improve the delivery of education in your school and your parents will thank you. To book a free demo, please visit www.adverse.net or call 081-5354-0506 or 081-4901-9703. You can also send a message via WhatsApp. Join over 730 schools that love and use Adverse today.
Have you heard Jara is opening a new store here in Benin City?
Wow! Really? Where?
Yes, Jara, Nigeria's leading discount retail store, is opening a new outlet beside BDPA police station Ugbo. You can get high quality goods at low prices, enjoy promos and plenty of woof when you shop with Jara. The new Jara store sits at BDPA Shopping Complex, Road 18, Ugbo, Benin City. City and accessible from the Lagos-Benin Expressway. You get unbeatable prices, promos, and other unique offerings when you shop with Jara. Do you want to save money? Shop with Jara. You can also find us at 2nd East Circular Junction, Sokbomba Road, Benin City. Jara, everyday low prices.
Wow, detergent can come again. You dey wash plenty and you dey say you fit to win a millions as you dey wash with, wow. Jump 50K every day. If you not time to take calculate, million naira full ground. If you want to know how, just check the pack. Get your own car though when you wash with wow. Detergent, you dey wash million naira bracket for wow detergent promo.
This promo will end for the 25th of October 2021.
Milo! Correct!
Tell me first, why you be say I dey give you Milo every day?
Because now every day I dey play like a baller, I dey run like a sprinter, and I come dey learn book like a scholar. So I go need all the energy why I fit get. You see am so?
I see am well.
Make you give your pikin them ogbonge energy. Milo Active Go with the goodness of malt, milk and cocoa. We go help your pikin them to stay active every day. Milo, energy to fit do more.
92.7 KUFM.
Join the conversation on KUFM's dialogue as we introduce written voices. You can now keep the conversation going beyond 10 a.m. Send us your views on topical or burning issues of the moment, news, current affairs, or social-political issues that you may wish to share your thoughts on. It must be civil, factual, straight to the point, and in not more than 150 words, and we will give it a voice. Send your views to kufmdialogue@gmail.com or via our WhatsApp platform on 0807-552-7556. Keep the conversation going. Dialogue. Your voice counts.
Welcome back. Like I did say, because of popular requests, we decided to add, a small extension just to make sure that you would have the chance and or the opportunity to contribute. Yes, we still have the MD of ESMA right here with us and the chairman of the TIPA drivers as well as Mr. Gebo. We had SP Kontongs Bello, the police PRO here in Edo State. But we've listened to everybody speak, especially I've been very interested in hearing some of the new innovations Comrade Austin is bringing to the TIPA Drivers Union. Some of them I'm hearing about it for the first time, but before I get back to the phone lines, I have to ask this question. How do you publicize some of these things? It seems like the public are not even aware of these things you're doing with your union.
Well, we don't need to publicize it. All we are doing is to sanitize our.
No, but you have to. If you say people should send the names or the numbers of any TIPA driver that has misbehaved on the road to you,
yes.
How would people know to do these things if you do not make it public?
I've just given out my number.
That is the first time you're doing it. That's the question. That's what I'm saying. This is the first time you are doing it. You have not done it before.
No, see. Our customers who gave us job, contractors, and all of that, they are all aware of this whole thing. And I guess anybody in Edo State know that there is a particular day, which is the last Saturday of the month, which all the tippers gather. People will be asking. Those that have not been, they have never experienced it, but be asking, what did they happen for tipper garage? What did they do? All of the young gather. We are sanitizing them.
All right. Okay, our phone lines are still open. 0706-263-9275 or 0903-939-4427. You can also call 0812-178-9154. Yeah, you were about to say something.
You see, just to add to what he was saying, it's not particularly a thing of responsibility that he, the Tipper Drivers Association, must be the one to publicize what they are doing. That is where government of the day can come in terms of in partnership. They can create and assist them with platforms that can make people be aware to understand that such things are going on, and evidently knows how to put our information through the report lines.
Hello, good morning.
Everybody.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Morning to you.
Yeah, my name is Gostin. I'm calling from Sapler.
Oh, hi, Gostin. Yeah, you're welcome. Go ahead.
Yeah, I beg. The issue about this Tipper drivers matter is too much. You don't too much. I recently now one of them bashed my car for Sapler Road here. See, they claim to beat me join. I beg very happy saying that they talk about this issue. Not a fair way to tackle this issue, because most of the drivers who they do this things, not be them, they are self, now they are boys so that they keep motor. Now they do these things, now they misbehave for road. So you get my point.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't follow tipa. I don't do tipa work for some time. But I know I be. So all these boys where they give tipa, all these young boys they say that they lay down, where they give tipa, now they misplay for you. And they guys they caution them. Therefore they never get driving license safe. But they misplay for you.
All right. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Chairman, you want to answer him? He said, okay, there's nothing to answer. All right. You've already made a point. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Charles.
Morning to you.
Good morning, guest.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Yeah,
You're not introducing yourself.
My name is Harrison Onajo.
Okay, Harrison.
The traffic trade manager.
Go ahead.
Yeah, see, the biggest problem we have is that the people, the road users, the drivers, they are not knowledgeable about the traffic regulations, even the enforcers. Why? This thing started from the people that are issuing us the driver classes. Do you know that even the people issuing the driver classes, they don't know the categories of driver classes they are giving to people because there is no procedure, no education towards it. I was given a property deal, a license deal. License deal, I'm not supposed to be given the license deal. Every vehicle that is less than 3.5 kg, 3.5 tons, supposed to be using the license deal. But I was given deal, that means I have to be driving a Shomolo bus. You understand? I'm not asking, why are you giving me this? I don't know how knowledge about this. With no answer. So we see that the foundation is from the lack of education is from the foundation of the agency giving us this license. I'm looking to, I wrote a proposal to the former governor, even the governor, on how we can set up a body that will be educating these people because if people the agency, they don't know about this. They are not ignorant teachers teaching ignorant students. What are we going to get from it? So these are the issues. You cannot look at all the drivers when they enter the road. You know that our roads are not wide. What if you have in case of emergency? When you are driving on the road, whether a big road or a tiny road, you're supposed to shift to your right. Why the other, let's say, is not a dual carriage way. When you are driving and just going a common road, not a dual carriage way, you move to the right. The other one moves to the right. So that when there is emergency like police and the ambulance, you create a central path. Whether it's line or it's not line. Because there is no education towards this, everybody just behaves the way they like on the road. And the government, they are not doing anything about it. So when you stop blaming Java, if you let the Java the educated people that are driving on our roads, not the professors, the graduates and everybody, the literate, we are on the road, but they just similar the same way.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you. Harrison, thank you. You have tried. Thank you very much. Thank you. I mean, do you people realize that when you say the government is not doing it, do you know that ESMA is part of government? I mean, you say ESMA, you're doing well, but the government is not doing anything. So what is ESMA actually? Are you not part of government? They say you're not doing anything. No problem. Hello, good morning. My call, turn on the volume on radio. Hello, good morning.
Mr. Charles, good morning.
Morning to you.
Yeah, my name is Sosos.
Sosos, you're welcome. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Ukbawo.
All right.
I've been following the program. I want to commend our panelists there, especially the chairman of the tipa driver. See, you said every last Saturday, that's when you people organize your meeting. And I want to put it to you that most of the drivers don't attend that meeting. They don't. Even their boys too are supposed to be part of that meeting. They don't. I believe that's where the communication gap is. So if you can organize all of them to be attending and lecture them properly, I think there will be safety among you guys. Because I happen to encounter one, I'll be even before now, I've having to operate the business. You understand? Recently, I know along Sapler Road, most of them, the way they drive along Sapler Road, my brother, is terrible. You understand? So let's keep that aside. Then my guy itself, the MD, sir, I must commend your effort too.
Thank you.
And I want to appeal also. I know your office is along Sapler Road.
Yes.
This one-way thing is becoming unbecomable in Sapler Road. You understand? Fine, your boys are always on ground to do the work, but I think you need more power.
Thank you.
Around Sapler Road, so that we at least this one way of a thing, I mean, to be reduced, even though if you cannot stop it. So I think that's my little contribution for now. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, the issue of attendance here.
Thank you very much. The issue of most of our drivers don't attend. It is true, but 95% attend.
How did you get the statistics you're quoting?
We have records.
You have attendance.
We have attendance records. If you don't attend, on Monday we'll go and bring you to a book. We arrest your vehicle, you come to the office, you give us the explanation, the reason why you did not attend the meeting. You understand? We hold the meeting across all branches. And sometimes, me and the state chairman, I will hold the meeting for them for just 25 minutes here. I leave the other one for my vice. I start moving from one branch to another. Then from the motor boys, anybody that wants to know, we have 3 days. 3 days time will be last Saturday of the month. You come for the motor boys. 7 o'clock, they will be at our secretariat.
AM.
7 o'clock a.m.
Okay.
7 a.m. Then they will clear from 7 till 8. From 8 o'clock, we hold meeting till 9. From 9 o'clock, that's when the normal meeting commences for the drivers. So even the motorboys, we hold meeting with them.
And all of them attend?
Yes. Yes. Anyone who doesn't attend will not come. We don't work for throughout the week.
Okay. MD.
Yeah.
There is this, issue of ESMA. I don't know, is ESMA a revenue generating agency?
You see, in all over the world, traffic offenses are committed, and the best punishment is to attach a fine to it. And the moment we don't collect taxes. So if you don't collect taxes, that is not compulsory revenue generation agency. But because you collect fines, you can write fines. Then you become a revenue generation.
So ESMA is a...
but the fact is that, you cannot be forcefully saying you must go and generate money. Unlike a tax officer, revenue officer who goes to the street to go and collect tenements, to collect parking, but it's not like that.
With ESMA.
So with ESMA.
No, I mean, we know that ESMA impounds people's vehicles.
Yes.
We know that ESMA tows people's vehicles and then say you have to pay a certain amount of money. But the allegation against ESMA is that your men seem to wait. They want people to actually commit the offense so that they can, impound their vehicles and then collect fines from them. No. Instead of actually preventing that. We've had people call to say, an ESMA person was standing there, he didn't say anything. And with the moment I parked and went out, they came and took my car. But why did the ESMA official tell me, please, you're not allowed to park there?
Yes, let me give it to you this way. We have general rules that guide parking. We have natural places you are not supposed to park. It is not for an ESMA officer to tell you not to park under the pedestrian bridge or to park on a zebra crossing area or to park in the red zone area. It is not. So it is for you as a driver. It boils down to training. You got a driver license. You are supposed to be trained on things you are not supposed to do when you are driving. Now, if you park in a place you are not supposed to park, it is the responsibility of the ESMA to call you, but it's not his responsibility to tell you, oh, this is zebra crossing.
But if you're standing, if an officer is standing there, for instance, because I do remember ESMA put out a
parking modality.
Yes, to say you can't park here, you can't park here. Some people haven't gotten that. Those of us who are privileged to get it, we have gotten it. Now, if someone is going to park somewhere because they want to do something around, and an officer of your team is standing there, I mean, courtesy would demand that you tell the person, Oga, they don't park there. You are not allowed to park there. To prevent the person from actually breaking the law.
The ESMA officer will not plead a motorist to park and then now call for a tow vehicle. They will tell them, but even when you tell them, they will refuse. Go to Mission Road, go to Forestry. You will see somebody who knows you are not supposed to park in a place. He will park and sit in his vehicle. And that is to tell you, he realizes at the moment he's out of the vehicle, they are going to tow the vehicle. They know. Or they are told, but they will tell you, oh, I'm just going to be here for 5 minutes, I'm just going to be here. You see, the government has tried so much. for the first time you have a central parking system, people will not still use it.
So your I mean, I'm looking at your parking modalities. You see, places for no parking from Ring Road to St. Matthew Church. That is,
there are many.
From if it's so long, the list is up to 50.
We will give the
100 places. Now the next question is, if 100 places nobody can park there, where then can people park?
No, it's a modality. Okay. We are looking at, there are places you can park on the right. We are looking at, we want to accommodate the motorists. We want to accommodate everybody. We are not saying that, not 150 places where there are regulations. There are places you can park on the right. There are places you can park on the left. Okay. There are places you cannot park at all. Okay. Why are we doing it? So that to accommodate the motorists, so that on our own, you know, we will know what to do at the right time, so that people will not, to avoid complaints. Okay, we are looking at some street road tag. You see people parking on both sides, so those street roads are useless. Vehicles cannot move there at all. Then for organizers, mechanics will now take over the road. But we are saying no, you can use, let's give you the privilege of using one part of the road, maybe the right side only. Then I will now give you a modality. We now put no parking on the other side. They will go to that no parking, they will remove it.
I see.
Well, you see, the thing is, when it comes to the issue of parking or not parking, MD is my friend, obviously, with the areas where I support the ESMA as a body, year in, year out, I do my best, I appreciate the people. This is one area where the government is not doing enough.
He is part of the government.
Well, I mean, it's not part of the government. It's just heading an agency. No, it's not. Let's not mistake these things. We should be wired in a way to look at things for the point where we can have maximum effectiveness. We've come here to talk about the accident with the tippers and the vehicle and the people that died, and the prima facie problems of these bus drivers that has been an issue. To an extent, is leaving our minds now. And if you want to talk about the issue of ETSMA, I think signage is the biggest issue.
Signage.
If you look at other models in other places, we have the resources. What stops us from having a sign that you cannot remove? If a sign is robust enough, you cannot just go there and remove it. I can tell you that in those hundreds whatnot places that have been mentioned there, people are not trained or they don't go to proper driving schools to understand these rules. And those places that they say they cannot park, believe it or not, it's like reverse engineering. Somebody can stand as an ex-man guy, perhaps he has said to this person, don't park here, and the person has abused the hell out of him. The next person comes and he will not even say anything. Even when you ask him a question, he will keep quiet because after all, that is your problem. But if the infrastructures are put in place, it will save him as the MD of ESMA from asking this question.
By signage, you're referring to, wait, hold on. By signage, you're referring to signs that cannot be moved.
Yes, you can just Google any particular country. You see that they have no parking or pedestrian walking way or pelican crossing. These things can be done here.
Putting them is one thing. Voluntary compliance is another thing.
Let me tell you, by the time you have it there, and you are putting together your evidence to prove that you cannot do X, Y, Z. It's just like on major roads. You cannot be coming and this tells you this goes to Limit Road, this goes to PZ Road, or this goes to Adoawa. We don't have such traffic systems here that helps to ordinarily tell you. Even a stranger that drives out from Delta State to Benin can know that they cannot park here or park there. If the people here know, what about the people from the outside? To save you from asking these questions and not putting so much energy into things that has no positive contributions to how we better our state. If government puts money into copying, they don't need to be innovative. Copy what the Western world has done. Go to South Africa, go to Ghana, come and put those good infrastructures in place, put these signs in place where you can park or where you cannot park, put traffic lights in place. Trust me, it will be easier to enforce.
So unfortunately, you see, traffic signs are all the same thing all over the world. They have the same dimension. You don't even need, they have the same, to what we use here, the traffic sign we use here is what is used in South Africa. Is what is used in America. It's the same color, the same dimension, the same message to it. The fact is that, you see, if you go to the city, you will see traffic signs. The places that we are not using to enforce, they don't remove it. But the moment you put it in a place where you are using to enforce, where it is most used, you discover that sometimes it just disappear. You discover that we are even going ahead to put traffic signs in some either high object like electric poles, just to disallow people from tampering with it.
That's what I'm telling you.
So that is it. So we like what you are saying now is that if you have an idea and you bring it to our table. We look at it together, we review it. The city belongs to everybody. Forget about the political differences. The fact is that we want a good city. Why are people flushing to this city? Everybody in the north who is coming back to the state is coming to Benin. Why? Because the state is peaceful for people to live, whether you like it or not. From now.
Hello, good morning. Morning. Turn down the volume already quickly. Turn down the volume.
Good morning.
Yes, we can hear you. Welcome.
Yes, my name is Musa Owadu.
Musa, from where, please?
I'm calling from Benin.
Go ahead quickly.
The managing director of EXMA has all along been telling us each time we come on this program that they are going to repair the traffic light. As we speak now, I doubt if anyone is even working. If the traffic light is repaired, it will reduce stress on its workers. And there will be no problem with the junction. I was there one day I was driving. There was no traffic light. And his boys were there working. But the people that were coming from where I was with our own guy, an ambulance was coming. We were taking somebody to UBT. The guy had to say, more than 10 minutes. Because everything was cleared. Everybody knows the guy actually survived. 1983, 1st of October, I was 23 then. The then governor announced right at the stadium of this morning, our indefatigable late son of the leader, and that it gives the Ministry of Works 3 good weeks to ensure that all traffic lights are repaired. Within 5 days, I saw where they were doing that, and all were all working. Then it was powered by NEPA. But it's very simple. That was 38 years ago. Imagine now that we're talking of traffic lights, then the big shit. 1752, an ambassador for Portugal came to Benin and saw, he said the roads in Portugal then, and they had the same repair and what have you. As neat as that one of Portugal, that's how it is here.
Hello?
Thank you.
Hello? Okay, somehow his voice has gone down. So let's wrap it up. We're ending it right now. I must thank you. But before we go, I'll give you 20 seconds each to give us your closing remarks. Let's start from the chairman of Tipa Drivers.
Well, I want to thank the public. But before then, like the news, everybody is carrying Tipa drivers, killers, and all of that. I've said it on the air for the past 3 years. If there's an accident that involved life, claiming 2-3 lives or a fatal accident, nobody have said yes. I witnessed this. Yes, I witnessed this. Chairman, you are lying. That to show that the executive of Tipa Association, we are really trying. We are doing our best. We know God will continue to help us. May God bless us all in Jesus' name.
Amen.
Okay, I want to thank everybody. It has been a very good program for today. And Ember Mott is here. I want to beg the members of the public, the motorists, the pedestrians, please let us keep to rules so that we will be safe to celebrate the Christmas.
Thank you.
Yes, I want to thank you all, listeners. And my point is very simple. I think we should all put efforts together, whether it is the Tipa Drivers Association, EXMA that is doing exceptionally well with the very little resources they have, the media guys like you are, who is also giving platforms to put their messages out, to look at the primary and the elementary problems of these drivers and their behavior, especially with the bus drivers. They need to go back and look at ways to stop them from creating all this unnecessary traffic, getting people anxious, even with the issue of using horns, whereby these problems with time can be resolved. Without that, we're just going to be moving around in one circle.
Thank you very much, gentlemen, for your time. And of course, thank you to the members of the audience. We had to make sure we exhausted everything. That's how we do it at KUFM. My name is Charles Operum. Good morning.